it's like to write on the brass. I often say the brass tacks of things, because my auntie, who's a playwright, told me that as soon as I asked her at some point, when you've written the play, do you go through the process of being there and everything? She's like, no, of course not. I focus on working on the play. Bits will often be stripped off, because ultimately, often what you write is put on stage. That's rarely what happens. So it's really good to talk to someone who's in that industry, who can tell you just the brass tacks of how things work, how that industry works, and how you can be better at being a part of that industry. Be in a youth theatre of some sort, amateur dramatics, there's tons around. People who want to put on professional shows, but know that they're not trained, and it's really great just to jump in and play a role. What advice would I give? Write and perform your own stuff. I did say don't write before in terms of when I was saying or play stuff, but you can learn so much by just writing something down and performing it, or getting a couple of people to read it. So I suppose, that would be my thing. Write something down. If it's a poem, write it, read it, tell someone about it, tell someone you really, really like. You're just like, I really want you to hear what I'm saying, and they will give you an honest opinion. My brother, from several occasions, will read a poem that he's written, and I'll give him my honest opinion about it. So sometimes it's really good to just write it, read it, have other people come and read it, because then that really allows you to hear it yourself. Because it's hard as a writer, you might think you have it all down, but when someone reads it, they go, I don't get that, and I don't get that, and I don't get that. And so if they don't get it, then there's a good chance your audience is not going to get it. So it's really important that you hear from people that you know can give you honest feedback. And that's good, and it's a good practice, because in the industry you're going to have to just someone's going to say, can you do this? Yeah, do it. And you're just getting into the scheme of things of writing. And read a lot. Something to do a little bit more of. Read a lot. You learn the most by reading the greats, by reading the people. If you want to make a play set in a chicken shop, there are so many plays set in a chicken shop, clearly. But if you want to read, for example, if you want to read a play that's set in the trenches and it just focuses in the trenches, there are so many different plays that focus on that format. And there are so many great plays that focus on that format, and it's really good to read it. And as my mentor says, the greatest stories have often been stolen by other writers. You have to be able to just take a story and just go, I want that, and I'll put that into my play. And that's just the realness of it. So the more stuff you read, the more stuff you watch, the more things you soak up, it makes your stuff even better, because you can steal that from someone. And that's really, really important. So know a friend, get to talking to someone, get to learning what it's like to be in that industry. Join a youth theatre, because there's just so many opportunities right now for young people, especially between the 16 to 26 category. There's just a lot of things going on, and it's the time to jump in. Write and let someone read it, because you as a writer, you're going to write something down, but you might not be able to. You might not be translating as you want to translate. It's really useful to have someone read it and hear it out. What was the last one? Read more and watch more, and just get out there and see what's there. Because as much as you might want to tell a story that's a horror story right now, it might be that the season right now is focusing on thriller. So you have to be at a place, both as a writer, as an actor, as any creator, to know what's happening in the industry right now, and be in a point where you're like, okay, cool, I could do that, and I can do that, and I can do that. But I suppose I'm speaking more from a writer's standpoint. As a poet, as a creative, do whatever the fuck you want. Just get it out there and see the world, and allow the world to take in what you think. That's what I think.
Cool.
That's Reuben's top tips. Cool.
Okay.
Fun times.